that in Haiti, zombies are real.
There are real zombies. My name is David D. Wright. I'm a Baba Lorisha. Traditionally, in the voodoo, zombies are created because they're disruptive to the community. Because in most African traditional religions, we do not have prison. We do not have, well, so what we have is fine, execution, and exile. And in the voodoo, what happens is that they have this other alternative called zombies.
In Hay culture, as slow-moving, flesh-eating beasts, real zombies were believed to walk the earth in regions with strong voodoo traditions. Africa, South America, to work as slave labor by the community after it is further deteriorated with so-called zombie powder. According to legend, zombie powder is a poisonous toxic substance used to turn an unwanted person in their community into a zombie. Once the substance takes hold in a victim, they are said to retain a limited ability to walk and completely lack the faculties to talk, think, or respond.
Yeah, about what a zombie is. There's no mistake about what they know about zombies. So when you tell somebody, if you don't do what I want you to do, you're going to become a zombie, it's real serious. You might as well cut the head off.
While legends of real mortal zombies.
So when you tell somebody, if you don't do what I want you to do, you're going to become a zombie, it's real serious. You might as well cut the head off.
One of the earliest known references to the living dead, in fact, comes from the ancient legends of Gilgamesh, a Sumerian king who conjured spirits to bring a dear friend back to life.
It is true that there are traditions about the living dead that go back all the way to the 3rd millennium BC. I'm Joseph Naj. I'm a professor of English and folklore studies at UCLA. Gilgamesh loses his best friend, a person. Narratives.
People still listen to the tales of Sidi Kur, the corpse endowed with supernatural powers.
Narratives of reanimated corpses, narratives of folks who have had their spirits captured and are forced to labor, or spirits that have been controlled through magic, or I would say it's a worldwide.
You believe in a heaven or hell, what does that make a zombie? Does that mean there is no heaven, there is no hell? Interestingly enough, also in Christian tradition of the Middle Ages, we find as a very common miracle attributed to saints, the raising of the dead.
From Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 12. This is what the sovereign Lord says. O my people, I am going to open your graves and bring you up from them. I will bring you back to the land of Israel. Then you, my people, will know that I am the Lord, when I open your graves and bring you up from them.
And this, to some extent, is patterned after what Jesus does in the New Testament accounts when Jesus raises Lazarus, for example.
While stories of Wade Davis, author of Serpent in the Rainbow, ventures deep into Haiti in search of zombie powder.
Where he handed me a old rum bottle full of raw alcohol and all kinds of detritus, human bits and pieces.
If one were to envision a medical scenario where you could convert somebody into a zombie, you need to mix chemicals that would involve a muscle paralytic agent, something that would paralyze someone's muscles, and combine that with some sort of hallucinogen or something that would disassociate someone's consciousness to what's going on. Dr. John Fong, technical advisor for the Show ER and emergency department physician.
Dr. Fong has served as a Los Angeles-based emergency room physician for over 19 years. In his practice, he has treated a number of people in what he calls a, quote, voluntary zombie state.
I speak mainly from the emergency perspective because that's what you see at Saturday night, 2 in the morning. People come in and, my friend's a zombie or dead or out. As far as people trying to put themselves into a zombie state, I believe that happens quite frequently. Maybe not a zombie state as the goal, as what we see in movies, but people are always looking for a way to dissociate their cognitive state. And most of the time when you engage in drugs that put you in that state, then the net effect is something that is zombie-like.
1982, Wade Davis, then a Harvard graduate student, took a trip to Haiti in search of the country's legendary zombie powder.
I went down to Haiti not to find a drug that could be made to use zombies. I went down there to secure, if I could, if it existed, the formula of a folk preparation. And a lot of people have assumed that this is some kind of big, dark secret. Well, on the contrary, I think people just hadn't bothered to ask. I'm Wade Davis. I'm an anthropologist and author of the book The Serpent and the Rainbow.
Not only did he find the mysterious substance, but he became embroiled in the shocking case of Clervius Narcisse, a medically documented actual zombie resurrection case.
What made the Narcisse case unique is that Narcisse had died, supposedly, in the American-directed philanthropic institution, the Albert Schweitzer Hospital. His death was witnessed by two trained physicians, one an American, the other one a product of an American medical school. The hospital kept impeccable records. When Narcisse turned back up in his home village, his people recognized him, but immediately told him to take off.
According to Davis, Narcisse's personal account became almost surreal. Narcisse supposedly died on May 2nd, 1962, after being dosed with zombie powder by his brother to settle a land dispute. He was buried, but according to witnesses, he came back up out of his grave several days later and was forced to work as a zombie slave in northern Haiti for the next 16 years. Some claim that Narcisse was seen briefly in his hometown of Lesser in 19... Haiti.
He claimed vehemently that he was aware of himself being pronounced dead, that he was aware of the sheet being pulled up over his face, that he heard the people around him talking, and it was those elements of his testimony that seemed to be directly from the realm of the phantasmagoric and quite impossible.
Davis was given access to virtually all documents, reports, and eyewitness accounts having to do with the Narcisse case.
There was the documentation of the demise of the individual at the hospital. There was testimony from the physicians who were there. There was testimony of Narcisse's sister who witnessed the demise of her brother.
In fact, a man claiming to be Clervius Narcisse was interviewed by a news crew in 1984.
He was printing corn, yam, coffee, all kinds of stuff.
Working as a slave.
As a slave. Sort of there were 151 zombies working for that specific.
The Narcisse case is, without question, the best documented zombie case in Haitian history. However, to this day, the case remains unsolved, but many believe that Narcisse, whether alive or undead, might still walk through Haiti today. Pierre, who was not only willing to provide a sample of the powder, but willing eventually to demonstrate the actual preparation.
I made the arrangement for him to make this preparation, and I returned the next day, and I could tell from both the nature of the ingredients and the kind of desultory way in which it was made that this was not the real thing. And rather than sort of accusing him of anything and refusing to pay him, I simply mentioned that I was going to try to poison an enemy I have in the capital and let you know how